Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort, meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today. That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable.
Welcome to Space News! I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
This is the first time we've had the whole crew orbiting in
USS.
what did we call? Yeah,
Something.
Big Theory
Big Theory. USS Big Theory.
probe, something like that. I don't know. Welcome to Space News. We got tons of some cool space news coming today. What do we have first on the docket here? We have the first asteroid ever discovered to have 3 moons.
Three
Count
moons.
'em.
1, 2, 3, baby.
Yeah. It beats the amazing record of 2. That was before. Now it's the first ever object to have 3 that we know of so far.
Object to have 3?
How many have 3?
Just objects? Like the first ever object to ever have 3 anything?
Well, first asteroid.
Asteroid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
First asteroid to have, I guess it's pretty rare to have asteroids have their own, like a big enough asteroid have their own moons, I guess.
Yeah, that's got to be a fucking huge asteroid.
So it measures about 260 kilometers, so about 160 miles. So it is a pretty
big.
big, chunky, chunky piece of rock.
Thick.
It's a chunky boy.
It's named 130 Electra.
Electra.
And so,
Electra.
Hell
Like
yeah.
named after
So-
Electra Nachios. I like that.
probably more the
No.
Greek tragedy character. But
I don't think so. Why? You want to know why? Because Electra carries fucking size. Size have 3 points. It's got 3 moons. Fuck you.
Boom.
There you
That's
go.
it.
So
Count it, son.
someone's a fan. Whoever named that asteroid.
It's got to be.
Got to be.
Well, maybe, except it was named Electra before they found the third one too. It's not like they changed the name.
Oh,
They did.
well, stick
I
with
heard
our
they
story.
did.
Stick with Andrew's
Don't
story.
take this from me.
I have
so
no
it is
evidence to the contrary.
exceedingly rare because over like of the 1,100,000 asteroids that we've discovered over the last 150 years, only 150 are known to actually have at least 1 moon. Not to say 2 or 3.
Only 150 so far.
Have at least 1 moon.
Okay.
I think we need to up our standard of what we're calling moons.
Yeah, I mean, like, are these 3 of these things even made of fucking cheese? Like, come on.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, is this like if this thing's only 253 kilometers? Well, it's not that big.
That's a big asteroid though. That's a planet killer. Easy.
Yeah,
Toasted
sure,
your
planet
planet.
killer, I guess. But
I guess.
I guess so.
the 3 moons, like how big are they? They're not that big.
They're about 1.6 kilometers across. It seems like.
That's the
newest
that's
one.
the smallest. Yeah, that's the newest one. That's the smallest one, I think. It has the other 2, but I think that's the smallest one.
Still 1.6. So that 1.6 kilometer. That's still a big asteroid.
Is that an Earth killer?
No, I don't think a full killer, but it'd be like
Devastating a city.
it's devastating a big chunk. Probably a country. Let's say 1 point. I guess it depends how fast it's going.
It's true. Up next, we've got, this was SpaceX wrongly accused of having something crashing into the moon. We talked about this, I think, on the last Space News or maybe 2 Space News ago.
I think we did. There was going to crash in, and it's from like 2015 or something, and there's going to crash early March. Turns out, it is
China.
not SpaceX.
Well, they're pretty sure it's not the SpaceX one. I think they might have misidentified it as a SpaceX, but now they're pretty sure that it's a Chinese Long March 3C rocket stage that is actually out there.
China's just letting their shit crash everywhere they want. In space.
Oh, dude, all
It's
over
it's gonna fucking not a problem.
Yeah, wherever they want.
Well, I mean, it's kind of normal to let rocket stages just kind of go wherever because they usually just burn up in the atmosphere or wherever. It's that's kind of the standard protocol.
To me, it was weird that they it's weird that you wouldn't know what it was. Like that it even got misidentified as a SpaceX rocket was weird to me because I'm like, are you telling me that once these things go into space, whoever owned them just goes,
Space problems now.
At first they thought it was an asteroid because this object, like its designation is WE0913A. So they didn't really know what it was at first. And they spotted it back in 2015, like Zell said, and they originally thought it to be an asteroid. And then they identified it. There was a little piece, like an observation that they saw that that specific object had actually passed, between us and the moon, like 2 days after another mission was launched, the Discover mission with the Falcon 9. I guess that was
with that super rocket. That's the one where it's like it's got the acronym, but we don't really know what VR is.
Right.
Discover.
So when they compared it up, when they kind of hit the news that it was the SpaceX rocket, like another John Giorgini of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory kind of keeps tabs on some of the active spacecraft, noted that the Discover's orbit doesn't take it close to the moon. So this kind of raised the question as to how could that rocket have passed the moon 2 days after the launch?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Just the distance wouldn't make sense. It's too far for the 2 days.
Right. Yeah. And so then they went back to the drawing board, did a lot of complicated math that they're good at. And then they found out that like the best chance, they went back to like in the launch records and the calculations kind of pointed out to this Chinese Long March 3C rocket would have been in the right place at the right time, approximately. So they're pretty sure it's this object, but they're not 100% sure. It's like 98% or something.
That's pretty good. We'll take 98.
It's a pass. It's an A. Come on.
And it seems weird that, like, to me, I'm like, you think that these companies launching these things, you thought they would, to be honest, thought they'd have some sort of tracking or something to be like, yeah, we know exactly where our debris is.
Like a transponder or something?
Yeah, something of like, yeah, we know where it is just so we can keep tabs on it since it's our responsibility of where this thing ends up.
Is it there? Like what's going to happen? What are they going to do? Space police going to come after you?
No, I guess
Space Force. Space Force.
Internet. No, I guess space laws don't apply. Yeah. Next up, we have, this one was cool. The first ever photograph from the James Webb Telescope. There you have it right on the screen above us there. 18 little specks.
That's cool.
What? This is... am I missing something?
Well, it's because the James Webb Telescope has 18 mirrors, and this is taking a picture through each mirror in order to calibrate them all into one focal length.
Okay, so why is this big space? This is fucking space news here. What's happening? There's just a couple fucking dots.
Where have you been?
Well,
space.
Where have you been? The James Webb Telescope's like the most. It's one of the greatest feats we've ever done.
I'm ready to see fucking selfies with aliens here. What are we talking about? A couple dots.
Well,
they're coming.
It's coming.
They're coming. This is is monumental though. This is the first thing we're ever seeing from the James Webb. I mean, I'll give it to Andrew. It's not quite.
If you just show that to
unremarkable, just to the layman
with no context, you'd be like, that sucks. It's nothing in this picture's dots.
Yeah, give me a piece of black paper and poke some holes in it. No problem. Same thing. I can do the same thing.
Well, they also did something that they didn't think they could do before, because they actually took a selfie of the James Webb, like the mirror array. They actually used it. They used the near cam, the near infrared cam, apparently, and they were able to utilize it to take a picture. I think if you scroll down a little bit farther in that article, they took a picture of the actual thing right there, and they were surprised that they could actually do it, because they didn't. Originally, when they made the announcement, like, they weren't anticipating being able to actually take a picture of the thing itself, but they said that they were able to do it. And so
that's the cool furthest selfie from Earth of all time right now.
Pretty much. Well, there's the Mars one.
Oh, yes.
Like, there's the space. There are the rovers.
The rovers. Yeah, I forgot about the rovers.
Sad robot noses.
But it's cool. We look forward to seeing, in the next coming months, by the end of 2022 for sure.
12 dots next time. You never know.
We're going to be seeing tons, amazing stuff out of there. So it's going to be mind-boggling.
I'm excited.
What else do we have here? We had, they're tearing me apart, Lisa. 3 galaxies tearing each other apart in a stunning new Hubble telescope image. So that's what the Hubble's doing. And you got to think that if the James Webb was there, we'd be looking like just a way better photo.
Well, it's all
this is
different.
Stunning.
It's different because the James Webb is shooting in near infrared.
Yeah, I guess so.
But still, they're going to be able to turn that into some pretty cool shit.
Yeah, I was like, everybody forgets, like, the Hubble's still up there. It's still doing things.
Yeah.
It's still up there taking pictures. And
we're sick of the Hubble, Dan. On to the next.
Hubble's old news, bud.
Another cool piece of information about those galaxies, like, they were actually, like, that picture, that image was actually identified by a civilian effort that it's one of those kind of things. What is they called? They called it the Zoo Galaxy Project or something like that, where essentially, like, NASA outsources a lot of the identification of some of these galaxy clusters and stuff, like, of all the hundreds of thousands of images that the Hubble collects. They put it up for people to kind of, you can log in, like, you can go to the website and you can go through all these images, and kind of, they just give you a little, like, you click here to be like, what does this galaxy look like? And and they take all the data, and, stuff that would take a couple scientists years takes, a couple weeks for 175 volunteers that just go in and look at these cool pictures that the Hubble's taking of galaxies or whatever. I think those galaxy cluster is designated IC2431. It's about 681 million light years from Earth. And so you have you have these 3 galaxies, like, colliding into each other.
It looks amazing. Like, when you look at it, like,
it's really cool. And it's, they're saying that like, you see these 3 galaxies coming together and you think, like, oh shit, like, they're all going to crash into each other and, they're going to tear each other apart. But actually, they're going to come together and merge, is what the predictions are. And if you were in those galaxies, if your planet or your star was in that galaxy, they say you probably wouldn't even notice.
There's, like, so much space between that.
Right. There's so much space there that your star's kind of orbit might change, but otherwise you wouldn't really notice.
I mean, there is a chance of you getting hit by some other cosmic debris coming through, but,
like, very small chance, because
you won't even know that you're part of a mega galaxy.
The spaces between stars are so, huge. So you wouldn't even be there. So if you compare it with our galaxy, I guess the Milky Way is thought to have done the same thing, been through the same process. Like, it's probably eaten. It's a chunky galaxy. It's probably eaten more than, like, a dozen galaxies over the past 12 billion years of its existence.
Well, and we're going to do that to Andromeda in the next
It's going to collide
2 billion years or something.
Right. So, but then they're saying, like, at that point, like, it'll probably completely change our night sky. Like, you'll see different, you would be able to see, when we're around.
There's way more stars.
Yeah.
Way different.
I remember when the Orion constellation was over there.
Back in my day.
Yeah. That'll be part, is when we're part of the collective consciousness.
Yeah.
I'll still be there. Don't you worry. That's cool, though. And that, and at the center of those 3 colliding galaxies, you'll probably see, like they say, like, new stars be formed with all, like, all the loose gas and stuff will all kind of crush down, start spitting out new stars. If only we could experience the time scale of the universe.
The brilliant cosmic dance continues.
Yeah, it would be cool to be able to step back from it and watch it all play out, but not
cool.
the cards in this lifetime,
No,
unfortunately.
unfortunately not.
What else do we have? A solar storm knocked out 40 SpaceX satellites out of the sky. Satellites. After the company ignored scientists' warnings.
Whoops.
I'm sure astronomers were happy about this because the
They
growing
hate-
complaints about these fucking things. People hate them.
Well, the thing is funny, when I pictured this in my head, I pictured like, your giant, coronal ejection coming out and like smashing into these satellites and, electricity sparking and all this stuff. Like I thought that's what happened. But actually, apparently what happens is that when you have these types of events, what happens is when they hit the atmosphere of Earth, the atmosphere of Earth actually expands. And so when it expands, these satellites that were parked in their normal type of orbit where they normally do is like when they launch these satellites, they put them in like a parking orbit to kind of get them in alignment to figure out where they're going to put them. And then that parking orbit where they put them apparently was within the that expanse zone of where the atmosphere was going to hit it. So they actually got pulled down by air resistance. They got pulled down by atmospheric resistance, and they ended up just like dragging into the atmosphere. And so now they're fucked. And only, 9 out of 49 are still there?
Yeah, they parked them there at 209 kilometers, and that's where they like check all their systems before they put them in their normal orbit. So yeah, they warned them, you know what? They warned them that the storm was coming. They ignored it. So what they did is they tried to just turn the satellites like a piece of paper to try and minimize the resistance.
Try to turn them into the storm to kind of like
Try to cut through the solar storm. And yeah, knocked all but
Well,
nine.
worked for 9 of them, right?
It worked for 9. So, I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if we would have waited a week, they would have been fine. But
It's, you know what though? It's one of those things like now they know, they tested. They're like, no, we can't.
What's the financial loss?
I
on
feel
that?
like
Do
we did know
That's a
about
good question.
that. It's like we did know. Scientists, we told you, like this is probably going to
Do
happen.
you think they're a write
You
off? Like,
didn't
is there
listen.
insurance for space storms?
that's a good question. I mean, they're fairly small satellites and they launch a bunch at a time, like 50 at a time. But still, the cost of just to launch the rocket and shit, I mean, it's not a cheap endeavor to throw those up there. So
You know what though? Elon,
someone fucked up. They fucked up.
He can write it off.
But yeah, I'm sure he can cover it out of his pocket change.
Yeah, and that was a lower magnitude solar storm. They rate them on a scale of 5, and that they claim that was a 2, so like a low moderate kind of storm. So next time, if it's a 3 or a 4, they're all
Yeah, that's pretty much all we have for spaces this week. We have some news coming from the conspiracy corner.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable.
Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today.
The
honking.
honking is still happening, still going on.
Barely.
Barely. The police have now come in and are breaking up the protesters, and
They're breaking
We're
the up the protesters and also breaking the protesters.
there's tons of videos coming out. I mean, I think I called it like last week. I said, there's the videos of when the police RCMP are now, because Canada enacted the Emergencies Act, which gave the RCMP powers and jurisdiction. And I said, as soon as they roll in, man, it's game over for these people.
They don't fuck around.
And you're getting a lot of videos of, the optics aren't good. They're not good.
Especially when you got leaked group chats of fucking one cop saying, wait till the protesters hear our jack boots hit the ground.
Yeah.
Like, that's not all good.
It's just not. I understand there was a problem with these people digging in and it was upsetting. But know what happened throughout this protest? It went these anti-mandate protesters, right? That's what they called them this whole time. And then as soon as that act wasn't put into place, the Emergency Act, it was now anti-government protesters. It switched on a dime. It was crazy. Overnight, it went from anti-mandate.
Anti-government mandate protesters.
But the wording of the titles and the headline stuff were this anti-government protesters. That's where it switched. It was weird. As soon as the act went in, it was anti-government protesters. Now you have fucking riot horses.
Well, the thing that, like, I was watching a few videos, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not justifying any acts of violence on either side, but like a lot of these fucking protesters were like getting in the way of the horses on purpose, and they're not going to fucking stop.
Dude, horses, they're not going to stop.
No, not only like they're trained. They're trained for this shit. They're gonna walk right over top of you like they fucking did. And like I'm watching this video, and they're trying to get in the way of these horses to stop them. And I'm like, you are gonna lose this battle 10 times.
This horse is 1,500 pounds.
Everyone knows cavalry destroys foot troops. Everyone. Have you never played any kind of
Age of Empires? Okay,
Right?
Like I don't know.
it's wild. It's wild shit.
It's wild that this is happening on our home turf with like Canadians versus Canadians. Like it's so hard to watch.
It is hard to watch. It's a little embarrassing on all sides for me watching. My
Freedom
thing
blockade
is
needs to go home. And mandates need to lessen. And
the mandates. I said as soon as they put us in that last lockdown, I went, ooh, we lost. You could just feel the in the air, people going, huh? What? Doesn't make any sense. And then when this started, I'm like the truck convoy and stuff. You know, I hate to say
blockade.
The blockade, the convoy that started this. I have I have a hard time feeling for them because they were exempt this whole time so they could work. And now that they've been like, hey, the state's board has been like, you know what? Now that things are a little better, we want you guys to get vaccinated as well or do rapid tests at the boarding. So they're like, what?
They didn't say or rapid test,
now.
though. There was no or rapid test, I don't believe.
I think it's vaccinations. I thought it was and rapid test, but they wanted them to be vaccinated, which most are, some aren't. And now they're upset about that. But I'm like, you know what? These truckers, no offense, truckers, what you're doing, I get it. I hate the mandates too. But where were you when the small businesses were getting shut down a year ago and couldn't do anything?
You know what's not a good look either, though, in this situation? So they said, no, you had to be vaccinated. And then they just made an exemption. If you're a trucker carrying medical goods or vaccines, you are exempt. So there is a few exemptions. It's a couple. Yeah. If you're a trucker and you're not vaccinated and you're carrying medical supplies, you can still get across. So this is kind of weird.
You know, the other bad look was that their like MOU said that they wanted to I'm paraphrasing here, but they wanted the government to disband and they wanted to put in a committee installed by the convoy to oversee the government. I'm like, they wanted the governor general to appoint them as like a citizens committee of government or something. Unelected. Yeah.
Unelected.
I was like, that's not a good look. And then as soon as people started to find out, they're like, well, we don't want that anymore. We changed our minds. We don't want that.
Like, I understand, like the Daily Show probably handpicked the worst possible people to put on TV.
Oh, for sure.
When they went into, but like, oh my God, it was such an awful look for Canada. Like I don't think I've ever been so fucking embarrassed in my life.
It's a little embarrassing. The one thing, though, I mean, this is still being debated heavily in our House of Commons, and it's to be voted on tomorrow. But if this is allowed to go through, the precedent has been set that if you deem a protest anti-government or a threat, it's been set that you could just do it again.
Listen, I have the other problem I have with this protest and the bad images coming out, and I said this a week ago to you guys, I don't care. The people that are now up in arms going, the RCMP can do this. This is ridiculous. Gestapo said this. I'm going, no, shut your mouth. They've been doing this at Fairy Creek for over a year, chainsawing people out of trees. and no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Dude, the truckers were blowing past them to get their logs. No one cared when the RCMP were, beating up Indigenous people. No one cared. And I'm like, now that it's in your face, in our capital, on the mainstream news, people are like, well, this seems to be a little heavy-handed. I'm like, no shit. Everyone's been saying that, who's been paying attention to the RCMP, who gets hammered by these protests in Fairy Creek and stuff like that. Some of the pipeline protests going on this is not new. That's why I said, man, when the RCMP come and start chainsawing these people out of their trucks and start trampling them.
Didn't the Ottawa police kind of put out a statement that said, like, we told you guys to go. Like, we asked you nicely for the last couple of weeks. Like, we were like treated you with kid gloves. Like, we said, come on, like, you guys can go home. And then the RCMP thing, because the Ottawa police like couldn't do anything, or they weren't doing anything.
They were just
weren't there some
ill-equipped
kind of like,
and underfunded to kind of handle that kind of influx of issues.
So it's kind of like, how else do you respond to this? Like we need these people to go home, and I don't know. I mean, there are other options. I'm just saying it's just like that seemed the fastest.
I agree, but I'm saying this is to say that this is now like to invoke a national like wartime act, pretty much, like,
But do you have another like?
Well, there's provincial ones. There's provincial ones that could have done almost the same thing.
Okay.
Again, I don't think invoking the national one was unfortunate, but I think it was like the reasoning that I've read is it's a jurisdictional thing for law enforcement. Like, it was a jurisdictional nightmare because of provincial, municipal, and federal all operating at the same place.
Well, yeah, because they've got OPP. Because they got city OPP and RCMP.
Yeah,
right?
so then it's a like logistical nightmare. This is just like RCMP in charge. It doesn't matter your jurisdiction. Federal is in charge. We take it over now. If it stays in any longer, maybe we have some issues, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But the two things I hate is that, one, I'm like, we all knew the last round of mandates. Everyone was like,
it was almost over.
It doesn't add up, that these mandates. And now we've been put in a position where these people are like, end them now. And our government's been like, well, we're not going to pander to you,
but we're going to end them anyway.
But then the problem is like, even as they start to end them, the protesters are like, we did it. This was us.
No, this was natural course. This was the natural course of action. Like this,
when the numbers dropped from 40,000 and then the next were like 6,000, they're like, oh, convenient. I'm like, yeah, that's how time works. That's how these COVID waves work. Have you not been paying attention for 2 years? This is how it works. We get big spikes and then it drops off. So it's
JFK Jr. is going to come back alive and fucking fight for liberty and save everybody. Make North America great again.
JFK Jr. is going to be appointed a citizen of Canada and then run for office in Canada now.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen too.
The other thing is like these mandates are almost over. What I hope to see is we don't see the governments hesitating to remove mandates because they're worried about the protesters thinking like they've given power to them. Fucking end them. If it's time to end them, end them.
But the hesitation isn't going to be due to the fucking protesters. The hesitation is going to be due to the fact that we still don't know what variant's coming next. That's a fucking fact.
Hey, we're saying this right now, but it's over. I'm going back to play shows. They removed everything except for the masks and the vaccine passport. But that's good. That's next on the list.
We'll see though. Like we don't know what variant comes next.
Oh,
and that's something that we need to be
listen.
I'm going to make a personal bet to myself that there will be no further full-scale shutdown of private business due to COVID.
Hope not. God, I hope not.
There's not a chance.
They can't. Now that
I don't think you can. I think if they thought it was bad on this last round, if they do this again in the fall, it's gonna be real bad. But
it's gonna be even louder honking.
Extra honking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you're not going to get any of the shit you ordered from IKEA, buddy. None of it.
The other interesting thing in the conspiracy news was that Jean-Luc Brunel, who was Epstein associate, was found dead in his cell,
strangled
in Paris.
Was he strangled?
No, he's hanging.
He was
hanging.
He was hanging. Yeah, 76-year-old. He's been held for over a year.
What did his cellmate look like?
Yeah, kidding.
That it was that same Jack cop.
Just juiced out ex-cop.
Yeah. No, he was 7'6". He had been held for over a year.
76.
Yeah, on suspicion of like,
Horrible things.
He was a
horrible
close
rape,
contact of Epstein.
traffickers.
Yeah.
He was a fucking pedo. He got exactly what he deserved. Probably got off easy.
He was pretty much being held for inquiry into sex traffic and sexual assault against victims of like French citizens. That's why they were holding him.
They had some stuff on him, like specifically, like he was an associate of Epstein, but at this point, like who wasn't?
He was a frequent, not even associate, a frequent companion. Like he was always with him.
And so like, but they linked him to other stuff. Like I think he was like a French, like he had like a French modeling service or something that he was sourcing his
ladies through.
Shit.
Yeah, he had girls come out publicly and call him out, and they were hoping to get him in court, and now he's.
So it's under investigation, this whole thing. So we'll see what info comes out.
Yeah, they deserved to have their moment with him sitting in fucking court, but whatever. At least he's out of the picture.
Yeah. It's an unfitting. It's a fitting end, but we would have liked to see some justice handed down to him. I don't care if he was 76, but
I know we didn't
one
discuss.
less.
I know we didn't discuss it beforehand, but I just want to know if Dan knows something about it. It seems a little convenient to me that as COVID winds down, the escalation in Ukraine seems to come back again. What happened? As soon as COVID winding down, they're like, and we're going to war. Putin's invading Ukraine again.
The Russians came out and they're like, you know what? We want Crimea back.
Well, I mean, it's a lot. It's a complicated situation. I think there's a lot of nuance to it. So there's a lot of like, first of all, like Ukraine, there is a strategic, like, it's always been kind of a buffer between
like a gateway
the Soviet
between,
Union and NATO. And like the Western powers, it's always been like that. When, to lend a little bit of context about why the U.S. is involved, people are like, why are we even over there?
Pierogies.
You have to, the pierogies, and
Delicious.
also the fact that originally when Ukraine declared, was split off from the Soviet Union, became its own country, Ukraine held about 1/3 of the nuclear arsenal of the former USSR. They had nukes like on their soil, and we asked them, give up your nukes and we will protect you. We will keep you. We signed a treaty. I forgot what the name of the treaty is off at the top of my head. It's something Belgian, something. There's an actual official treaty. You can look it up. Ukraine, U.S. nuclear treaty, whatever.
So we're bound. Like we're North America's.
Yeah, we are.
The Budapest Memorandum on Security Assurances.
Right. We have an obligation because they gave up their nukes. They could have kept them. There's nothing we really could do about it, but they gave them up for the sake of being, a good companion or whatever they wanted
ally,
to have, foster diplomatic relations. Like we don't want nukes or whatever, but they gave up their nukes and we agreed to protect them and protect their country's sovereignty from that of, if it were to come down to Russia trying to take them back. So we're over there because of that. We're backing them up. We're lending them support. I don't think they're actually like U.S. troops. At this point, I don't think are going to be they're not directly stationed anywhere. Like we've been kind of pulling them back or whatever. But you kind of have this thing where now Putin's been pushing in this because this happened like a couple years ago. It
happened in 2014 because I remember because I was on a tour to Komodo Island and there was a dude from the Ukraine and he was telling me all about how crazy it was over there.
Yeah, and it's every couple of years, like Ukraine gets a little bit closer to joining NATO or something like that, like leaning a little bit closer to or buddying up with some of the Western powers. And Putin feels like he's got that seems to be the interpretation for most of the diplomatic specialists and whatever you hear on the news and things like that, talking about like, Putin has to flex his muscles and be like, hey, don't do it. But here we are at this point. This one's a little bit different because it's like, finally, we're like, no. Right. So it's funny because this whole situation, like reading about it, it's like we keep calling out his stuff. Like, you've seen how the United States, like the White House administration and them are like calling out Putin's moves before he can do them. He'd be like, yep, he's going to stage a false flag. Yep, he's going to do, yeah, we have the, locations of the troops. They're here, they're here, they're here. Blah, blah, blah. We're calling out all this stuff. We're calling all his moves. But the thing is like, we're giving him an out. You're giving Putin an out to be like, look, you could totally pull back your troops and be like, no, you guys are wrong. Like, and he did that. He pulled back the troops. So he, just like a couple days ago, they said, oh, the troops are pulling back, just so he could say like, oh, you guys are wrong. But then he put them back, right? Putin doesn't want to look weak. Like, that is, I think that is his biggest thing, is like, he doesn't like to lose.
Peacocking?
Why else would you ride a fucking bear with your shirt off?
Well, he's got no way out at this point besides looking weak. And once he looks weak, all his little oligarch buddies, like, or whatever, I don't think they want him to go to war either, because once he goes to war, then the sanctions come out. Like, they're going to hit him with a ton more sanctions than we already have, and that's going to be a big hit to a lot of his rich Russian buddies. So I don't know. At this point, we're just staring at each other,
just moving chess pieces around, and nothing's really happening.
Yeah,
and you can't really do anything because Putin doesn't want to back down. But if he does, like, he doesn't want to look weak. That's his big thing. And
I was watching this documentary
way out
on some current events, and I was just half listening. I was just doing some work, and they were. But the presenter was very concerned with the amount of similarities in current events right now and escalations as there was just before World War II. He's like, there's a lot of similarities, like having Olympics in another country that's currently having a genocide, like, these hostilities gearing up. And he was going through them all, and he's like, let's hope we can cooler heads prevail on this one. But there's a lot of similarities right now between now and right before World War II kicked off.
I think there's a lot of difference in the fact that, we have nukes now, and also the fact that I think Putin knows that if he does go to war, like, it's not going to be pretty. Like, the optics are going to be bad because you're invading a country that the optics look like you have the stuff that you're trying to justify it. Like you said, what was it? They said the separatists, or there's like terrorist attack. Like, we're trying to, we found these mass graves, and then people are calling it out and be like, those are the mass graves from the last war that you put there. Like, those are from 20 years ago.
Well, maybe we don't know though. So
yeah. So pumping out all the propaganda and all these things, and it's if you go to war with Ukraine, you're literally going to be shooting kids and grandmas.
Yeah,
because that's who you see out on the streets. Like, those people are ready to fight. And that's who you're going to, and if you put that in optics of like, you got GRU thugs rolling in there in their tanks and stuff, and you got babushkas with AK-47s on the other side, probably AK-74s, but like, it's just not, and then the NATO will have to respond, and it's going to be nasty. You're going to have F-22s coming down out of nowhere, and Russia knows it's going to hurt. Like,
yeah, we're long past the full global warfare age of humanity. I hope
it'll be fast. Whatever it is, it'll probably be fast. That's all. That's like whatever's going to happen. If it does come down to that.
The last thing I have for Conspiracy Corner is that reptilian overlords do in fact get COVID, as the Queen has tested positive for COVID-19. Just want to let that know.
Well, we've known this the whole time. It's zoonotic, right? It's bouncing between different species of animals and shit like that.
Yeah, she's bound to get it.
Not surprising.
Everyone's bound to get it.
Let's get into a little bit of Theorite news. This is some information for you Theorites. As you know, we're coming to Austin, Texas.
We bet your bottom dollar, brother.
Well, really 2nd to 6th really is the dates we'll be there. We've got the meet and greet, haunted bar crawl starting at the Driscoll Bar. What is that? The March 4th?
March 4th, 6:30 Driscoll Bar. If you're around there and you have bring your EMF meter or make one. Make sure you calibrate it though. We're going to start the Driscoll Bar.
Don't make Dan upset. Calibrate those
EMFs
before we go there.
I'll start the Driscoll Bar, and then on the 5th...
Bring your best Zach Baggins glasses and baggy pants.
And Tim Skull Lion wardrobe.
And then March 5th at Central District Brewing at 5 p.m. is a Theorite meet and greet. Come hang out with us, your fellow Theorites. We'll hang out there for a few hours, and then after that, we'll see everyone's state of mind and where we want to go.
We'll be going to bed because we're old.
Yeah, anyway, so that also could happen.
Shut it down.
We'll see how hungover we get the day before. Next up, Theodite News. We are probably 6 weeks out from the 3rd annual running challenge, starting April 1st to 30th. We're figuring out the logistics right now. Just so you know, it is happening. We might be switching apps. We have a couple emails off to a couple charities we're hoping to work with this year to raise some money for a charity. We'll let you guys know as soon as we kind of line up what charity and who we're going to support this year. And we're thinking about doing a rotating thing where we pick a new charity from here on out, but we'll let you all know. There's going to be various ways to support. You can participate in the running challenge. We're going to hopefully line up a couple businesses that will donate a dollar amount to kilometers ran. That's all still in the works. So, and then we'll obviously have some sort of donation page to the for direct link to the charity that we're going to be working with. But it's all in the works. But stay tuned. And if you're going to participate this year, start maybe thinking about getting a couple runs in now, because 6 weeks goes fast.
Get yourself a foam roller and enroll in some yoga classes before. Start real slow. If you haven't ran in a while, 1Ks, 2Ks, nice big stretch, day off. Don't make the mistake I made the first year and just go full tilt with a 7 first day and then your knees explode.
Yeah, tear that Achilles.
No, run 10K your first day in jeans, and that will make you
make sure
faster.
you carb load right at the beginning. Get some fettuccine Alfredo. Eat as
You
much
probably
of it
want
as
to
you
slam
can.
a couple beers first, because
And
that
yeah,
will
that'll
loosen
work
up.
too.
Yeah, that works.
That'll
And if
increase blood
anyone wants to do
circulation.
the Craig Challenge this year, the Craig Challenge is where you polish off a bottle of red before you go and do a 6K at about 11 p.m. at night. That's the Craig Challenge if you want to do that at any point.
Craig's retired, buddy. It's Dragon now. We all
Yeah,
know
right.
it.
Craig.
And
Yeah.
Dan is going to be 100% taking part in the humid temperatures of Thailand, I believe.
Oh
Dan?
man, it'll be even harder.
Yeah.
I had to up the challenge from last time.
Now
so,
Dan will be running in a sweat box
Yep.
for every run. It's going to be fun.
running away from fucking Komodo dragons over there, the monitor lizards in the park.
And I believe me and Braden, we talked about, because talking about the running challenge on the main show, it doesn't age well, because then the challenge is over. It doesn't make any sense. So we might just start its own separate podcast, and we'll give updates and stuff, leaderboards as we're going through. So it's like a separate show. Maybe let's just call it the Running Challenge Podcast or something.
Yeah.
More
When
details
we'll do a
to come.
check-in or something. Yeah. There's also talks about a possible name change, but again, all this, stay tuned. More news is coming, and it's coming 6 weeks out.
Get rid of those dad bods. I know I do. Jesus.
We're working on it. Why don't we get into some weekly UFO reviews? We got a couple of videos. One we have to look at is, because it's very interesting, and I know the backstory very well because I talked to him about it today, was Mr. Conspiracy
Oh, right.
caught himself a UFO on tape right
old-
from his balcony of his new apartment, sent it in, and, pretty interesting. Why don't we take a closer look at this one? I believe, right here. So this is shot in Campbell River. It's about 7 p.m. on February 11th. There is seemingly a strange object floating in the sky. Watch,
Oh,
there you can see
dope.
it. It kind of looks like it has some bursts at the bottom there before it turns.
Well, I mean, I got an initial thought right away here.
There's a little bit zoomed in portion in a second here, but we got nothing. This whole thing is zoomed in just for the shot. But if you want to go to our Instagram, we have the full video and audio up.
That looks like
He should have done
Pierre
this.
LeFou.
He should have done a selfie here while he's taking the video.
You should have. So I think it cuts to just a little bit of a close up here in a second.
Looks like a star balloon.
It's like a floating person.
It's the Black Knight satellite.
Black
coming in
Knight.
low.
So that's that. The video ends abruptly. And when I asked him, I said, "Why does the video end?" And he said he ended the video and ran down because that shopping center is just up the way. So he was going to run up to get a closer look. And he said by the time he threw on his shoes, ran downstairs and ran outside, it was gone.
Interesting.
Right? He
It
swears.
didn't seem to be moving very fast at all.
No.
No. And he said, because I asked him, I thought, looking at this video right here, I thought perhaps, he said, there seems to be, like, if you look, like a little bit of propulsion on the bottom right here, it looks like there's some extra white. I said, is it a Mylar balloon? That's what I asked, because there's some of the shots where I thought, and then people have brought that up, that it's Mylar balloons. And you know what? The weird thing is, I'm like, there's got to be, like, I've never before even thought about how many Mylar balloons are just floating, because they must be everywhere, because every UFO now, people are saying it's Mylar balloons. He says, he's like, listen, my phone does not capture it as good as I saw it. And he goes, it was metal. He's like, it was metal. It wasn't a balloon. It was metal. He's like, I could see it better with my eyes. And then he's like, I was trying to, like, get a zoom, but he's like, I just couldn't do it justice.
Yeah, but the Mylar balloons are pretty, like, metallic looking, are they not?
Yeah, but I
mean,
think
you can get shiny ones. Yeah.
I think to be honest though, like, if I go outside right now and I saw a Mylar balloon, I'd be like, that's a Mylar balloon. Like, I'm not, like, I would know. Like, you would see it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing though, right? With those balloons, why isn't it still going up? If someone lost in its helium, like, this thing isn't rising either.
Well, it looks like it's deflated though, right? Like, it looks like it's just kind of fucking.
So it's already gone all the way up, is what you're saying? As high as it did, and then deflated, and it's come and just hovered right in front of Mr. Conspiracy's place.
Looks like it.
I think it's an alien being, super or little surveillance on Mr. Conspiracy himself.
Yeah, that checks out.
That makes sense.
He also bought himself. He just recently bought himself, like, a really expensive drone. And so I asked him, I was like, were you flying your drone? He's like, dude, I hadn't even got my drone yet. Because I thought maybe he was just filming himself flying his drone. And his drone looked like that or something. And he's like, no, I hadn't got it yet. And he brought it over today. And his drone looks nothing like that in the sky. What are your thoughts?
Initially, I did think balloon, right? Because we have seen some others that are kind of similar.
Yeah.
But there is, like, it's either the way the light is reflecting off the balloon, or it does look like something's like some type of propulsion, but it kind of looks like reflection of sunlight off the bottom of that, whatever that is.
It's interesting that it happens when it, like, turns or pivots. I'm going to go...
It's a weird shape.
I'm going to go a 4 out of gimbal on this one, only because it's a weird video. I've talked to him. I know him, and I know his tells if he was BSing me, and I just don't see him BSing me this time. I don't see it. I wholeheartedly believe that he saw something weird that day. I posted on the local rant and rave here, and it was not
Did it get roasted?
He got into some freedom chalk right away. Like, there was...
It's a freedom balloon.
Yeah. It's something about the government trying to get more
Slowly
vaccines. I was like, oh
COVID.
my God. I was like, all right, delete.
All right, we tried that. I'm gonna go with a 3, because it kind of looked like a balloon, but if he actually went down to go search for it, was it like, and it was gone that fast? Because it seems to be hovering here, so it's not.
It seems just sitting.
It's not windy. It's not.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it past him. He's looking out on his balcony, and then he goes out the front door.
He goes out the wrong door.
Where is it? It's gone.
He's at the back of the building.
It's good. You know what? Props on the filming though. He got it right. He filmed it well.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to see the full version with again, go to our Instagram. Dan, what do you think?
I'll probably give it a 2 out of thing. If it's could be Black Knight satellite just floating out there, coming down, checking out Mr. Conspiracy, linking up. I'm not sure, but it does the way that it slowly rotates, like, very much like that. Like, there seems to be some type of extension at the bottom, which you kind of see with balloons. So I kind of want to be like, I don't know exactly what it is. It's neat. Like, it's cool that he saw that, but it's just the way that it rotates just reminds me of some type of balloon or something, like really slow rotating. Doesn't seem to have like doesn't
looks like
the
a
way
star.
the light hits it. I'm like, that's metallic. It looks metallic, but that's also how you have like shiny star balloons that look like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, this was sent in by. Oh,
Doesn't
sorry,
even care
Andrew.
to hear what I got. No, it's
Go
fine.
ahead.
Move on.
Go ahead. I'll pause it for you.
Nope. You know what? I'll just go Peter in the next one, anyways.
I'll wait. I can wait all day.
We'll wait all day.
I
for
got
it.
nowhere to be.
I'm gonna pull a Braden and just not even. No, that's it. Sit here, not give in.
Are you gonna dig in?
I'm digging in both heels.
Both heels.
Both heels.
He's going to be there for 14 days, so we have to call in the National War Measures Act and
That's fine,
forcibly remove him.
All right. This one was sent in by. This was actually submitted to us. So, No Dice on Instagram saw this. I think his name's Dave. Sorry, Dave, if I messed up your name. Let's see what I have. No Dice 1904. San Diego, California, February 6th, so a couple days before Mr. Conspiracies. He sent in this. He saw this object.
Oh, what do
Seemingly
we got
black
here?
object floating in the sky above the power lines, drifting really slow.
God damn you. Are you showing us another balloon?
Braden's like everybody's saying it's balloons, but you're showing us nothing but videos of balloons.
Come on, that's not a balloon.
I mean,
Go
look
back
at
to-
the way that
I don't
it's-
like the zoomed in version.
The way that it's like traveling, the way that it's just like it looks like it's
slow
just riding
bounce.
air currents. Like it's just that's what it's doing. It's going up and then it comes back down. Like it goes up the cooler air and goes down.
On this one, I will say you can't see the balloon shape as much. It's
All right.
because it's like
I will admit, upon second viewing of this one, I'm like, okay, well, maybe. All right, Andrew, what do you think?
Oh, sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention.
What do you
Your
think?
input
there,
on this
buddy?
one? I mean, it kind of looks like to me initially, I feel like he'd be able to see if it was a bird, but you know when the birds just kind of hover like that, whether
Glide?
they're kind of,
Oh.
you know what I mean?
if it's
That's
a windy day or something.
Yeah, like that's kind of what it looked like to me. It definitely looks like it's moving really balloon-like. Like, and for me, when I want to, like, the things that get the raise my fucking gimbal scale, you know, when it gets me a little, you know, fully torqued here when we're talking about these things, is some type of like remarkable movements and shit like that I just, you know, that don't make sense. Whereas like that looks very ordinary to me.
Yeah,
Just a slow
its
drift.
movement seems just really natural. It's just riding air currents like just up and down. You know, the air gets, you know, warmer as it goes lower, then it goes up, and then it cools down, and then it goes down. It's just kind of
Almost, these balloons are almost as deflated as Braden right now. Look at them.
if it were going straight, like if it were in a straight line, like, you know, and it seemed to be neglecting any of the normal like aerodynamics and any of that stuff, like it would be you know, you see something weird like that, you're like, that's not natural. I
would have
know how
rather
something-
gone on a
but that
Megal
looks
than
very-
talk to you guys.
That looks very natural to me.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a low
I mean-
gimbal. Low gimbal.
Thank you, No Dice, for submitting that. And if you have videos,
Absolutely.
submit them to us, please. We want to see them. That's all I had for UFO videos. We're gonna have more. We post them on our Instagram and social media posts. So if you're interested in seeing some, you know, kind of current UFO videos, head to our page. We're posting new ones all the time.
Hell yeah.
That's it for Space News this week, boys. Anything else before we sign this one off?
Nope. See you in Texas.
Woo! Peace out, everyone.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. Ah.